episode 80.
Are you ready to take your eBay business to the next level? Then hold on, because Ron and Ali are going to take you into the fast lane with the latest tips and insights from some of the biggest and most successful sellers here on the So You Wanna Sell on eBay podcast.
Welcome once again to another episode of So You Want to Sell on eBay. I'm Ron LeBeau.
And I'm Ali Young.
Hi, everyone. We have with us today from Fort Worth, Texas, Philip Tirelli. How you doing, Philip?
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
Doing fantastic here in St. Louis. How about you, Ali?
I'm doing fine. Great to have the cowboy on board.
Yeehaw, buddy.
Yeah, this is going to be good. All right, so Philip is the founder of Local Arc, who are purveyors of airline memorabilia and vintage collectibles. An eBay seller since 2002, Local Arc has found success in the niche market of airline memorabilia through offering unique inventory coupled with excellent customer service.
Love it already. So let's talk about this sort of airline memorabilia. Are you like a guy that has a pair of binoculars and you're out there spying on different brands of airplanes?
Well, I have a little bit more of an advantage than that. I actually work for a major U.S. airline at our corporate headquarters. So I literally get to park next to airplanes every day and see them take off and land all the time. So a little bit more than binoculars.
That's really cool. That's really cool. I don't think we've ever had anybody on the show that had a position like this. That's pretty awesome. Front row parking on the tarmac, is that right?
Parking spot and then a fence and then the planes are right there. So pretty much.
There you go.
Is that illegal? I mean, should you really be within that distance?
There's a fence, but there's
a fence to stop you. So I see you've got stuff here from like Pan Am. I mean, I don't know much about airlines and stuff, but I hear that's sort of like the older sort of first sort of airline, was it?
Yeah, they're one of the more well-known old school legacy carriers. They've been out of business for several years now,
which makes your stuff more valuable, actually.
Right? Yeah.
And you've collected all of this, or I mean, have you gone on every single flight to get this memorabilia? Or have you just got a supplier of Pan Am's local area?
No, so so the picture you're looking at right now, it's a Pan Am canvas tote, a vintage tote. And I just saw that one a couple of days ago. I was actually out with my wife. We were having the very rare, elusive date night without the kids.
I love it.
And being the young 32-year-olds that we are, we decided we were going to go to one of our antique stores we like to frequent.
Yeah.
So we were walking around, and my wife actually spotted it, and I ended up not getting it. But anytime I see a nice piece of airline memorabilia or some sort of travel item, I like to take a picture of it and post it to the company's Instagram feed. I love taking pictures. Even if I don't buy the thing, I just like to share it. I like pictures. I like interacting with people, and it's proved pretty popular so far. It's interesting because just with the social media, the Instagram that I've started, just through the use of various hashtags, lots and lots of people start engaging with you, and it's primarily airline people from around the world. I've had some domestic fans, but it's a lot of people in New Zealand and Australia and Germany and Brussels. So it's been pretty fun. That's
pretty cool. So what is your Instagram name or link?
It's just Local Arc. It's my same as my eBay username, LOCALARC. And you can find me on most of the major social media outlets. Instagram is the one that I tend to frequent the most. And then I will then output to Facebook and Twitter as well. But it's usually those same pictures from the Instagram feed.
Very nice, man. Very cool pictures here. Everybody, you should check this out. So what is Local Arc? How'd that come about?
So it's just short for local archaeology. Pardon me. Whenever I started making the business a little more active about 4 or 5 years ago, it really started. It was a combination of the airline stuff as well as mid-century industrial furniture. I'm a fan of that style of furniture. I have that in my home office, and I've restored some pieces. And then I started by buying some pieces. So I bought a good form industrial task chair and cleaned that up, and then I ended up selling that to an artist in Brooklyn, and then a vintage desk fan as well. So I consider myself yeah. So I consider myself like a local archaeologist. I'm going through and I'm finding these these rare treasures. So that's how the name came about.
Jeez, that's cool. Amazing. I mean, I'm glad you shortened it because I certainly wouldn't have been able to pronounce it properly. But This is so do you have any is there any warplanes, or is it just commercial airline stuff that you're selling?
My focus is really on commercial airliners. There are many, 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 different types of aviation collectibles. Obviously, militaria, regular commuter aircraft like Cessnas and whatnot, Pipers. But considering that I work for an airline, that's where my passion is, and that's where my focus is. And I'm kind of surprised at the niche market that it has, but it's proved extremely successful, and it still kind of baffles me, but it's proved so well that that's where I've just considered to put my focus on.
Well, that's cool. It looks to me like, you're kind of out there, and it's a small niche, right? So how do you price things? I see different things out here, and I'm just sitting there thinking to myself, what do you compare that to price it?
So, anytime I get an item, be it airline related or, every once in a while, I'll list non-aviation related stuff. Like I'll sell iPhones. I actually do commissions for friends and coworkers. They'll upgrade their iPhone, or they'll get a new MacBook. So they'll give me their old stuff. They're like, hey, can you sell this for me? I'll say, of course. And I'll do my research, whatever it is. If it's airline related or non-airline, I always do my research. I want to see, what the current values are, not just what they're listed for, but what recent sales have been. So that's my primary one is doing the research on recent sales. As far as the stuff that I currently have listed, there are a couple a couple of sellers online that will sell some of the same things. So then I'll start to price them accordingly. But primarily, I'm like one of the largest sellers on eBay for this type of memorabilia. So I kind of have the ability to price it at what I think is fair, because I don't have too much competition. Now, because of what I was able to acquire the items at, the price point, I can adjust it. I don't have to, price them too high. I price most things, $2.99, $3.99, just based on what they are, because my return is going to be very large. And when I buy these things, I buy them in bulk. So I currently have an inventory like over 3,000 items.
Nice.
Wow.
And I do my sourcing. It's maybe every 3 or 4 months, and I'm able to buy most of these things, like I said, in mass quantities, and I get them for very cheap. And it works out well because the people that are selling it are just going to be throwing it out anyway. So they're able to make some money. And then I'm taking stuff out of a landfill, and then I get to then, inventory it. And then I sell to the people who actually
saving the world. You are
right.
Ron and Ali will be right back after this short break.
Do you want to set yourself apart from other eBay sellers? Want to look like one of the big brands? How would you like to feel confident that you could do it yourself, but know that the support is there if you get stuck? Now you can create your branded eBay store and have your store doing more. With Auction Pro Template's premium do-it-yourself eBay template. This template is loaded with tools and features you won't find in any other system. Go to yourstoredoingmore.com now to see what's included. That's yourstoredoingmore.com.
Be sure to check out SoYouWannaSellOnEBay.com for the latest podcasts and all the information you need to get selling fast.
So I see a lot of Southwest Airlines, and I'm just wondering, are you really free to source around the country? Or how do they say it? You're free to move about the country?
That is a really, really good tie-in. I like how you did that. So, yes, I'm free to source stuff.
Oh, he's got a round of applause. That's where we need the sound effects.
Yeah.
So, I work for Southwest. I've been there almost 9 years now. I absolutely love working for the company. It's really a dream job. Got the job right out of college and haven't looked back since. It's a wonderful company, and unlike most of the people I know you've had on the show, I'm not looking to leave the corporate world and to do my own thing like eBay full time. I have a great job. It's a great job. I love the people I work with. I get to do a lot of really good stuff, real meaningful work. So I actually have absolutely no plans to leave the corporate world and to do this full time. And I enjoy doing the eBay stuff on the side. Now it does take a lot of work and time, but it's a perfect marriage of full-time job and then, side hustle.
Well, that's really cool because, I mean, that's one of the things Ali and I talk about a lot is that, there are so many variations of how to do eBay. There are those who, do it part-time like yourself and are trying to get out of the corporate world. There are those who've been successful at doing that. And then there's those who, like you, hey, I love my job and I want to do this part-time and, I can do it as much or as little as I want. I don't know any other business that you can do that, right? I mean, it's just amazing how people like yourself can come in here and you've got your own little niche. You've kind of, chiseled your little part of the corner out of there and, and you still go to work every day and you love that too. So what a cool thing.
I do. No, it's for me personally, it's like the perfect sort of scenario. When it comes to the corporate job, one of the big things that I don't like hearing is like on Monday morning, someone says, "How you doing?" They say, "Oh, it's Monday." My view is to say, "Hey, it's Monday. I look forward to Mondays. I really do. On Sundays, I don't get the Sunday blues. I actually, I look forward to going to work on Monday.
Right.
I work with great people, and just it works out really well, and it affords me the opportunity to do the eBay business on the side."
So let's talk about that part, because normally we have people who segue, who want to leave their corporate job and they want to get to just being on eBay full time. So for people out there who are in this part of corporate and eBay, how do you manage the timing and everything? So you go to work, you do your thing, but then you got to come back, you got to source product, take pictures, get it on eBay. I mean, what's your sort of system to having a corporate job and having a hobby of selling plain stuff on eBay?
Yeah, so I have to wake up really early. I have to drive to downtown Dallas, so I'm up at between 4:30 and 5 in the morning every day. I leave, I go do the corporate gig.
So am I. I'm up about that time too, and then I roll over and go back to sleep.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm normally out playing golf at that time. Yeah.
Yeah, so I go to the office, I do my work there, then I have to pick up my son from after school care, or he's off school right now, so I pick him up from summer care. And if I by chance get off work a little bit early, sometimes I have to run an errand for work, and it gives me an extra 30 minutes or so before I have to get him. I might hit up one of the local stores, some of the local stores that I tend to do some of my outside sourcing at. I have a couple antique stores that I've been frequenting for several years, and I just like antique stores anyway. But I'll go to those if I have time. Just to look, because I know that there are some particular sellers there, vendors that have airline memorabilia. So I'll look there, and if I don't find anything in 10, 15 minutes, I'll just leave, pick them up, come home, do the family thing. We've got to feed the kids, get them ready for bed, do homework, all that good stuff.
Yep.
Obviously, that's priority. In the evening time, 8 to 9 o'clock is when I'll actually start to do any work I need to. Primarily, everything is done on my phone, though. I have a home office. It's a dedicated home office. It's maybe 20 by 15. It's a very large office, and I keep 99% of all my inventory in here. All my bulk stuff I keep in storage totes in one of our attics, but everything is on a big storage shelf. It's all individually labeled in totes with labels, and it's broken down by category.
So you know exactly where to go.
Yeah, it's down to a science. I have the inventory area, then I have a shipping area with my laser printer and the digital scale.
Like a factory in your house.
Yeah, no, it really is. It started out small. And then I had one shelf with just everything in the garage at our old house that we recently moved from. And then as we bought this new house, we have this much larger office, so I was able to adequately equip it for the business. So primarily I do everything from the phone. All right from the eBay app. I'll take the pictures on the phone, create a listing. Most of the templates I use as far as text, they're very simple. I don't use any of the like HTML templates. I just do straight up text. And that's a personal preference of mine, and I've always done that. A lot of it has to do with my professional career. I'm a technical writer, so I like things just very clear and concise and easy to read. I don't like a lot of fluff. I'm not so much for the creative type of copy. I just like to say exactly what it is. Personally, just because if I'm a buyer, if I'm going to be looking at something, I just want to see exactly what it is, the details about it. If there's any measurements, I want all that information like right there. I don't want to I don't want to have to read through a bunch of the creative fluff or just the poor grammatical errors I'll see sometimes.
Oh man, I tell you what, Ali and I do that all the time, man. I sit there and I go, oh my gosh, man. I'll read an article or something and I'll see just a typographical error and it just like, it drives me crazy, man.
Yeah, I mean that's my primary focus of my day job is I'm a writer, but I'm primarily an editor. So I'm the guy that's just reading through, hundreds of pages of manuals and just looking for every typo and grammatical error. So, I try to transition that over into my listings. I just want them to be just right there, clear and concise and easy to digest for the buyer. So I'll have those templates, but they're basically boilerplate templates that I have saved on my phone as keyboard shortcuts. So I can just type in a couple characters on my phone and it populates almost the entire listing as far as the text. And then I can just plug in the specifics, if it's a luggage tag or if it's a rubber duck or if it's a picture, what have you. So I can create a listing in maybe, 3 minutes from start to finish. Granted, I already have the pictures taken.
That would be text, picture, everything, yeah?
That wouldn't include the picture. What I'll do is whenever I acquire items, if I usually do one of my big sources, and I'll literally have a car full of just boxes and boxes of stuff. It'll take me, a few hours to go through everything, sort it, count it, inventory it, and then start taking the pictures. And when I take my pictures, I don't just lay them down on the carpet or on a table and just snap one real quick. I'll set it up. I'll try to use natural lighting. If I have to use artificial lighting, I'll try to properly place it. I use a backdrop. Some of my more recent pictures I have, if it's a Southwest item, then I have a big Southwest backdrop so you can see that in the background.
Yeah, I see that.
And actually, just this past weekend, I went to a coworker's house he also has a side business. It's not eBay, but he does leather crafting. And he also has, high quality, like DSLR and light kits. So I took a bunch of my inventory over to his house and we took a bunch of these pictures. So real high quality ones. So I've updated some of the eBay listings currently with those new pictures. But so assuming I already have the picture, as far as the actual creation of the listing at that point, it's just a mere 3 to 5 minutes.
Well, and one of the neat things about this, and I know you kind of, alluded to it a little bit, when you first start out, you're starting to take pictures and now all of a sudden you got backdrops and, the neat thing about eBay is you can actually just grow this thing, and it doesn't have to be perfect. I know when Ali and I started this podcast show, we waited like a month, I think it was, because we just wanted everything to be exactly perfect. And I guarantee you, not that Ali and I think that we're great, but our show has gone a lot better since the first 10 episodes. I will say that. So what I'm saying is to anybody out there listening that's thinking about starting an eBay business, just do it. Get out there and do it and listen to the podcast show, listen to, Facebook groups, and get out there and you will be amazed at what you're able to do pretty quickly.
Yeah. That's what you want to do. You just, if you want to do something, whatever it is, it could be an eBay business or it could be something totally different, have a plan. Don't just blindly jump into it, not knowing what to do, but have a plan, think it through and, make an honest effort at it. As I always tell my son, if you're going to do something, do it right. Don't just haphazardly start taking pictures and just writing stuff. You want to kind of have a plan, but you don't want to overthink it. Start doing it. That's really the main thing.
That's exactly it. And like you're like most people we've interviewed, where you found something that you enjoy and you found something that that you sort of relate to, and it makes, I imagine, selling a lot easier.
Yeah, it does. I know there are a lot of people that they have very successful eBay shops and stores, and it's wonderful for them where they just sell anything and everything. Personally, I can sell almost anything. I have a really funny story I can get to in a second of one of my biggest and most unique sells on eBay. But, because I have such a passion for the airline industry, I like to, that's just where my niche is, that's where my focus is. I enjoy selling the items to people who will then enjoy them. Even though this is all done online and you never see the people personally, it's all about customer service. That's really what it is to me. I enjoy selling these items to people who are then going to enjoy them in whatever sort of capacity it is. They might just be putting a luggage tag on their bag, or they might be getting these rubber ducks that they want to put, in their office, or all these different posters. So it's fun. It really is. My son, he's getting really into it too. He's 7 years old and he's enjoying it. He likes to help me, inventory the items, or he'll ask me, "Hey, did we sell anything today?"
Yeah. Where's my pocket money? Come on, cough up, Dad.
Yeah, and that's what he's asking. He told me one day when he was helping me inventory some things, he said, okay, how much are you going to pay me? I said, how about I pay you with a rubber duck? He said, okay, that works.
No, that's called slave labor. You know that, yeah?
No, that's called cheap labor. That's totally different.
There's a difference.
It's time for a quick break, but the guys will be right back here on the So You Want to Sell on eBay podcast.
What's more exciting than starting your own eBay empire with one of Auction Pro Template's custom eBay store and listing template packages? How about saving yourself $200 when you do it? That's right. Right now, you can take advantage of starting your own totally custom eBay store for the insanely low price of $697 when you use promo code SAVE200 during checkout at auctionprotemplates.com. You still get all of the amazing features and benefits as before, like a custom designed eBay store and matching custom eBay listing design, video tutorials, software, custom branding, 1 year free hosting, and so much more. But now you get to save yourself $200 doing it. So celebrate the start of something awesome with $200 in savings when you order your very own custom eBay store and listing template package. Go to auctionprotemplate.com and check out all of the features and benefits of having a totally custom eBay store and use promo code SAVE200 today.
You're back with Ron and Ali here on the So You Want to Sell on eBay podcast.
You talk about you loving your job as an employee and you love your eBay business as an entrepreneur. I'm just curious, which direction are you going to go with your son? Are you going to train him to be or help him be an employee or an entrepreneur?
I just want him to, be successful, whatever he wants to do.
Don't take that no. That's a cop out.
That's a cop out. Okay. Let me go through the book.
Let's vote on this. We need voting. Clear facts.
I would want him to be successful at both. I want him, his primary focus right now, his job is to do well in school, just to learn, become educated. But, entrepreneurship, it's an important thing to have instilled in you. It doesn't mean you're necessarily going to become an entrepreneur, but even having that skill set later on will benefit you, even if it's just in school or if it's working in a corporate setting or if it's, working at McDonald's when you're 16. So having that entrepreneurship instilled in you at a young age, I think is real beneficial.
Yeah, absolutely. We totally agree. I mean, you're actually, I think, the first person, at least in a while, I will say, that has had a job and the eBay business and loves both. So,
I think it's a great message.
It really does. I mean, anything's possible. I mean, really, it's amazing because we talk about, starting a business. I mean, if I wanted to start a janitor business or if I wanted to start a dry cleaning business, it takes money to do that, right? I mean, really, the eBay business can be we've heard of people starting to sell things around their house. Most people do. I mean, they start selling things from around their house and they realize that there's income potential there and they grow from there. And some of them are selling, making $100,000 a month now.
Yeah. I'm just like most of those people. I've been an eBay member since 2002, although the business part of it really it didn't start in earnest until about 3, 4, 5 years ago. But I was the same way. I initially created my account so I could, buy stuff. Maybe I wanted to buy a T-shirt or buy a new stereo for my car. And then when I started selling, it was just odds and ends. I was in college, so I was selling, my past semester's textbooks.
Right.
Or I wanted to sell, some DVDs I didn't watch or a couple of video games I didn't, play with anymore. Mm-hmm. But like in the last, 4 to 5 years is when it's really started in earnest. And the funny thing is, it all started with rubber ducks. That's really how this whole thing came about.
It.
The truth comes out now, Ali. Yeah. We just have a way of doing that, Ali. We pull the truth right out of these people. It takes a few minutes, but we get there.
It's really funny, but I am so proud of those little duckies. I'll tell you the quick story. The company was selling these rubber ducks. They're called winglets. That was the character's name. It's just a rubber duck, but it was made like an airplane, and you can see a version of it on my store. And so I bought one. I was like, hey, this is fun, keep it at my desk. We all have, fun little tchotchkes and stuff at our desk. And then I got to thinking, maybe somebody would like to buy these. I don't know. Because I had an easy source. I could always just buy more if I needed and then, list them. And I did. And I think my first customer happened to be this major rubber duck collector in Germany.
Oh, wow.
And no joke. I mean, his website is still in existence, and you can find all the ducks that I've sold to him over the years. And I mean, he has like thousands upon thousands of ducks, and he documents every single one. And really, that was pretty much, that was the genesis of the business part itself, was my little duckies. So over the past 4 years or so, I've probably sold 200 of these rubber ducks, 300 of them.
Wow, that's pretty cool, right? I mean, and most people might pass that up as a selling item.
Right, they would.
Yeah.
I mean, I just vision a yellow duck that's plodding around your bath when you're lying in it. I mean, I don't know. Each to their own, I suppose.
Hey, if someone will buy it, I will sell it.
Exactly, and that's the thing about eBay. You can put anything on there. Rubber ducks, you'll get a supplier. You'll get people wanting to buy. I saw once, a long time ago, some guy had cigarette butts, just a bag full of cigarette butts on eBay. I mean, what?
Hey, whatever, man. The most unique item I've ever sold, besides ducks and all this other fun stuff, was it was a box. It wasn't just a brown box. It was a box for I think it was a PlayStation 3 video game console. And this was maybe 4 years ago. And the reason I was selling it was because I had actually bought a box by itself before, because I wanted to give this video game console as a gift to someone. So I wanted the box so it could be all complete. Mm-hmm. So I thought, okay, well, I'll just put this box for sale. And now I was already, aware I have to be very careful at how I'm categorizing, what category I'm putting it in,
sure,
and how I describe it, because I didn't want it to seem like I was, listing this video game console, but it was really just going to be an empty box, like one of these scammers. So, I listed it as an accessory, and I took every picture, showing, all the documentation. And
there is nothing in this box.
Please exactly read carefully.
No, that's exactly it. And I was as explicit as I could be, and somebody placed a bid for like $150 on it. So I wasn't just going to sit back and say, hey, I got this sucker's money. I sent him messages like, hi, thank you for your bid. I appreciate it, but I just want you to be aware that this is an empty box. I don't want you to, be misinformed. And when you get it, you're, all disappointed. And the person never responded. So I sent message after message like, hi, just touching base again. Still never heard anything. So I called eBay and I said, look, here's the deal. This person is placing this bid on this box. I really think that they might think it's, a console, but I don't want them to be misinformed. And they looked at the listing. They said, everything is fine. They said, you are doing everything proper. So they said, just keep going with it. And even after the guy won the auction, I sent one final message, said, look, man, I know you won, but if you want the opportunity to back out, you can. And he paid right after that. So I said
$310.
Yeah.
Right.
The auction.
So I've got a box here, actually. I might put that up tonight, get $150.
No, but, like I said, the majority of the stuff I sell is, airline related and Southwest related. But, I do sell other things, phones and whatnot. My most exciting purchase, I actually just made it 2 days ago, and I hope to make the listing tonight, is 2 vintage pair. They're dead stock, so they're brand new, never worn, in the box pair of Converse shoes from the 50s or 60s.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, they're brand new. And the thing that really, really kills me right now is they're my exact size, and I love Converse shoes.
Oh, man.
But I'll never wear them. I already packed them up, and they're properly packed. So
is that pre-Chuck Taylor?
Yeah, this is pre-Chuck Taylor. So they're Converse, made in the USA.
Wow.
And they're selling for $400 to $600 a pair right now. So I'm really excited about those.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's pretty incredible. Was that just a thrift store find, or?
It was actually that same date night trip to the antique store. My wife and I, we were there. I saw them on the floor underneath a bookshelf. I said, hey, look, those look pretty cool. Saw they were my size. Like, oh, wow, maybe I should get these. And I decided to pass on them at the time. And then the next day I'm at work and I'm starting to regret it. I said, you know what, maybe I should go ahead and pick those up. So I called the store, they held them. And then I darted down there with my son, and we grabbed them. So real happy about them.
Wow, cool. So let me ask you this. I know your son helps you, but does your wife help you with the business? I mean, it sounds like you guys partner up on that, yeah?
Really, no. I mean, we enjoy going to the antique stores and stuff together. But she works later than I do. She gets home. It's nearly 7:00 at night before she gets home with our youngest. Okay. So she's she's pretty much out of it.
She's cooked.
Yeah. I mean, she's been working, long hours all day. So it's primarily me, from, sourcing to pictures to creating the listings to the shipping and communication with the customers.
Very cool. Very cool. So tell me of a failure, something that didn't go right, or something that, you had thought should have gone better and it didn't.
I wouldn't call it so much a failure. It's just more of a learning experience, because that's primarily what failures are. But
yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah.
Years ago when I started selling stuff, I didn't use a scale. I pretty much was just kind of guesstimating. Sometimes it was, I'd ship priority first class or priority flat rate. So I knew what the rate was going to be. But if it was something like a movie or a DVD or a video game, I would look up the weight on Amazon to see how much it was or how much it weighed, because they have all that information on there. So I would just pretty much guesstimate based on that. But I ended up eating it on shipping cost. And also I wasn't keeping the business as lean just because I was learning at the time. So even when I had these rubber ducks, I was buying, they weren't custom boxes, but they were from a shipping store that had, a variety of box sizes. So I found a box, a little cube that was perfect for it. But that extra weight of the box, increased the shipping fee by almost $1. So once I sat down and made a plan of what I want my shipping to be like, I was able to, look at the proper materials to get, and that helped reduce the cost a lot on shipping and just make the business more lean overall.
Wow.
Very nice.
Talking about the shipping, I mean, this is a great thing, and it's the most common thing on eBay is, so any of this sort of stuff like these, for example, these Converse you've got, would you send them like registered mail, or what do you call it? Something like that, where they have to sign for it, or would you just stick it in the bog standard US mail?
Yeah, no, if it's a high dollar item, usually with a purchase, because I have repeat customers I've had for years, and they'll make $50 purchases, at a time. So, I'll always combine the shipping if I can to save them on money, and I'll just issue them a refund for the difference. But when it's, about $40 to $50, I'll go ahead and ship it, priority mail, to where it's going to be insured for a certain amount. For things like these Converse, I'll probably end up shipping them via FedEx, 2-day, one, so they can get them, real quickly. They'll be insured for a higher dollar amount. And then, if they need to be signed for, then I'll pay for that option.
Very cool, man. So are you known as the eBay guy at work for Southwest products?
Pretty much. Yeah. Straight up. So like I said, I also do commissions for people, for coworkers. So I have 3 iPhones right now. I just got from a couple of managers in my department. So they just know to come to me. Anything they've given me, I've been able to sell for them real quick. One of my coworkers, she had an old MacBook. It was like a 2007 MacBook, and she gave it to me. She said, "Hey, I'll take whatever I can get for it." I ended up having a buyer within an hour for it, and I met them that.
You met him in the cafe. Dodgy sales.
Yeah, So my philosophy on what I do is it's all customer service. I want the customer, the buyer, to be happy. I want them to be pleased with what they're getting, but I also want them to be pleased with the experience. That's from the response time on a message. And I'm usually, since my phone's attached to the hip almost, I'm really quick with the messages. And even for my messages, I keep those saved on my phone too. So just a couple keystrokes, and I have a message that generates telling me, thank you for your purchase. I'll have your item properly or securely packaged and shipped promptly. Please let me know if you have any questions. So I send the same message to every buyer I have. Mm-hmm. But then I also take time in packaging it. Now I'm not going to take 20 minutes to pack it. I can do it quite quickly, but I still do it effectively. And I even want the experience to carry through to them opening the package. So if it's a Southwest item, which, the majority of my stuff is Southwest items, I have Southwest gift bags. I'll wrap it up in, bags or wraps. So it's a nice experience. They're not just opening up a poly mailer and there it's sitting in there. It's going to be, securely packed so it's not damaged, but it's also professional looking. And then it's kind of a little bit more of the experience as they open it.
Nice. Does it have like a scent, this spray of airness comes out of it? Yes.
I've not gotten that, but I might look at that for the third quarter.
I'm thinking of setting up a business, where you open up an envelope and a spray of smell comes out. It's all good. I'll tell you what, we've run out of time here. I could talk to you all day, Philip. what I love talking about you is you're a perfect guest for a podcast show because you just like to talk. And when you talk, you have so much experience, so much helpfulness especially to the new person. It's been fantastic talking with you. I mean, it's great to hear that you can have a corporate job and you can also have fun using eBay as a hobby and still be very successful. So really, really thanks for spending the time with us today, Philip. Really enjoyed it.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. It was fun.
We shall post all the notes from today's interview on our show notes page, which can be found at www.soyouwannasellonebay.com/show notes. But before you go there, Philip, what was your Instagram again? And what's other ways people can contact you?
So you can find me on eBay, on Instagram, on Facebook, and on Twitter. Just search Local Arc. So LOCALARC, and you'll find me.
Brilliant. Doesn't that make it easy, just having it all the same?
Yeah, it does. It does.
I mean, you've got like your name is very small, so you can get it on Twitter and everything like that. So you want to sell on eBay became a right burden of putting that on like Twitter.
Yeah.
It's just way too long. So brilliant. Well, we'll make sure we put all of those in our show notes. So just go over there, check that out. Once again, thanks for spending the time with us, Philip. We've really enjoyed it. From everyone here at So You Want to Sell on eBay, I'm Ali Young.
And I'm Ron LeBeau.
That's all for this episode of So You Want to Sell on eBay. Be sure to check out our next episode or any past episodes by going online to soyouwannasellonebay.com. Also, be sure to follow us on your favorite social media sites, facebook.com/So You Want to Sell on eBay, and Twitter at Your eBay Podcast. Thanks for listening. And until next time, happy selling.
Have an idea for a topic or know someone who would like to be on the show? Let us know. Just go to www.soyouwannasellonebay.com/interview. We look forward to hearing from you. This podcast was produced in part by Pro VoiceWorks.